Apps.
We are live at NC State Technology Training Solution following my social media management certificate class with Karen. And today's topic is social selling apps.
Apps. Lots of them. We have, I don't know, we have a whole bunch. Some of them overlap, but we're going to name drop. This is the name drop episode. This is stuff that we've used, I've used, he's used. And
other great people,
and other awesome people from listeners and all this stuff out there. We want to run through a bunch of these. We've divided them across into 5-6 different categories, and we're just going to name drop them. So, listen to the episode. You kind of get an idea of what we're talking about with some of these apps, and then head over to the blog post. If you're listening to this on the audio, head over to the blog post. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll find a link down in the.
You may put a picture in there.
Maybe.
Start. We'll see. We have a hashtag tonight for discussion on Twitter. Yep. Hashtag linking sales 64 for this show. 64. Feel free to one-up us. If you know an apps that is better than something we mentioned, let us know.
Yeah. We want to know. We want to evaluate these things. We need to know.
We need to know. Well, let's start with content curation.
Yeah. Curating content.
We actually talked about this. This is not a cooking show.
No,
this is something different. Okay.
Yeah. So we actually talked about content curation in the last episode in Linking Sales 63. But here, let's kind of run through. Maybe some of these are mentioned in the last show. That's okay. This will be a review for some of you, and then we added a couple extras. So let's start with the first one. Feedly. Martin, tell us what Feedly.
Well, Feedly is the answer to Google going, "Hey, everyone likes their Google app for you being able to follow RSS feeds. Why don't we cancel it?" And then Feedly picked up the slack. Anytime there's a blog you like, you can bring it in Feedly, organize it. They have a very robust free version or paid version and be able to keep up with what's going on. We teach it in our class and recommend it. So if there's a blog, you like it, bring it into Feedly and then organize it. And then if you really want more features, you can pay a little more. I think it's like $50 a year and get all the bells and whistles. So
bringing in RSS feeds, and with the death of Google Reader a few years ago, this could be a really good tool for finding content, and sharing it out there on your Twitter feed.
And I have one on quantum computing and personal interest as well. So you can have personal or business in there.
That's right. Well, we say 10% of the stuff you should be sharing should be personal stuff. So at least so folks can get aware of who you are as well as maybe what color underwear you wear. So let's talk.
We'll pass on that. Let's move to Pocket. Well, that's why you thought of underwear Pocket.
Pockets, yes. So Pocket is a great app. Download and put the Chrome extension in as well. Sign up for it. Go to getpocket.com. But basically what it does is, let's say you find a really great article that you'd like online. You want to save it. Maybe, bookmarking is kind of a thing of the past. What this allows you to do is actually save that article into Pocket. You can tag it however you want to tag it. So this is great for when you're working with maybe working in multiple industries, for example, and you're reading industry journals and you want to save stuff for later that might be relevant for sharing out with your prospects, because and you measured the stuff before, which we'll talk about analytics in a little bit. But this is a very, very good tool for that.
Cool. And then using good old Google Alerts.
Google Alerts.
Putting things in quotes for the industry. Make sure they're in quotes, or if you're following some professional group, it'll pick all the words.
Yep. And also make sure you create a Google Alert for you and your business, so at least you can get those alerts in your email every day. Google News as well, which is great. You need to follow industry news. You need to follow best practices. You need to follow a whole bunch of information out there and stuff your brain full of lots of content.
I'm feeling bloated right now.
Right.
But anyway. But Google News lets you customize many people. That's news.google.com. A lot of good information to find out there. I'm going to also just bring up something in search on Google. Someone did know in one of our classes to go into the filters and look up what occurred in the last week or month. Oh. Sometimes people don't know that little filter feature's there in the standard Google. So that would be a manual thing, but at least in search, it's amazing how many times to me Google brings up stuff that to me is way outdated. Yeah. And they're supposed to be so advanced. So Google, get up with the times. But that's another one. The next one's Klout, and you're cheering them on to do a little better job.
I am. You know, I do. You may know Klout as a social influence score algorithm. There, you take and connect all of your social accounts into their application.
Or people have no life and just play on social media.
That's right, like me. So that it has a really nice feature inside of there, so that way you can take and actually it recommends content that you can share out, and it has some really great metrics that go along with it, like this is published just a few hours ago, or this is trending on Twitter, or this is a hot hidden gem, those sort of things, which is really, really great. But trying to narrow down that content so that way you can really get the good nitty-gritty stuff that you actually want to share sometimes is a little bit difficult on the Klout app, but still download the mobile app, put it on your phone, and it's really easy to, when the piece of content comes up, it's easy to take and share it and schedule it to be shared at the right time as well, which is important when it comes to sharing on Twitter or on Facebook, which is where you can share that content.
I'm going to throw one in you don't have on the list, and that is actually Pinterest as a place to either put on a private board or a public board. We have one for linking into sales. It's just an idea of something you could put out there as a park that does get some audience, and find out. You might have customers that are on there, so you might be putting some stuff out there. They'd find out, tweak it, and put a better message in there, so they'll be found.
That's true. I mean, I have a board full of infographics that relate to sales and marketing. So by all means, come out and find me on Pinterest and read all those. We have the one last one we want to put under here for content curation is Paper.li, and which is a free kind of like a newspaper aggregator service where you can take and link in your blog and influencers in your Twitter network and various other places as well. It's free to use. They have a $9 a month option. You can upgrade and take out some of the advertising and understand who your email subscribers are. But just do the free one, because it actually puts out a post every day or every week, however you want to schedule it. And it takes the best stuff that has been shared inside of your Twitter network and puts it out there on social for you, and actually makes it a really nice page and hashtags and all this other fun stuff. So it's really cool to see that kind of content aggregated in such a very nice and clean way.
Great. If you have one you like that we didn't include, there's many, many more. Let us know using hashtag linking sales64. But the next one,
distribution.
Yep.
Right.
Getting it out there.
So when we talk about distribution, so we've gone from curation, and we need to now take and distribute content. There's a number of different platforms out there. We're going to talk about 6 of them or so. And the first one we're going to talk about is Buffer.
Which really got its foundation. It got its foundation with Chrome, but it's available on many browsers, integrated to the browser. A lot of the social media students like Buffer. It's on some platforms, it seems to distribute the content better than some people think a Hootsuite, and it has a robust free version to get going and trying it out. So it puts a little buffer sign everywhere. So if you're wandering around and you're in Chrome, you go, "Ooh, you want to send this buffer that out?" You can. So
I think what you get free, you can store up to 10 free posts in there basically, and then you have to clean out the queue and then start over again.
That sounds good. I'm not sure if it's true, but it sounds good.
And then it's like $10 a month, and then they have enterprise plans.
Try it out. Have fun.
So next one, which is kind of similar to Buffer, but a little bit more expansive, is Hootsuite, and they are probably the most solidified in the social selling space that that I've seen so far. The guys over there are writing social selling content basically to show salespeople how you can use Hootsuite for free to take and aggregate and share content and distribute that content. But what's really important about this, and you're going to hear some overlap later on in the episode about this, is that you can actually measure the impact of what's going on with your content that you're sharing out there. So, if something's been viewed or clicked on a lot, you might want to save that and use it again. If you find that pieces are just not hitting it, then you pull them out and stop using it.
Yeah, Hootsuite also has some fantastic education. So a good, robust beginning, very high value paid, and just, I think, killer on Twitter, especially if you have multiple Twitter accounts. it's hard to compete with that one. That just knocks out of the park on it.
Yep.
Next one.
Saturn Social is new. They just arrived to the scene. If you're hearing this episode, towards the end of March, beginning of April, then of 2015, then I strongly suggest getting out there and at least signing and creating an account. I believe it is free for the moment. And then they're going to, for early adopters, they're going to probably give you a really good price if you want to continue to use it. I've been trying it out for the last week. I've been very, very impressed with what they have to offer. You can create landing pages that are basically you can put out there into your Twitter stream, as well as actually when you go to share a post, it'll actually pull in an image from the post itself, not necessarily one that has meta tags associated with it, like how you should do that with Twitter, so you can create a Twitter card, which we could talk about in a later episode. But it'll literally to pull in an image and then put that image into your Twitter stream for when you tweet. So it's very, very cool, and we all know that when you put an image with a tweet, you get high engagement. Martin, we've tested this.
Yep.
Right.
Sure.
So I've been putting out there one tweet that basically says, "Hey, check out the podcast that Martin Brossman and I are doing." And
I know that guy.
All right. Yeah. And then I get 6 or 7 retweets on it and a bunch of favorites and all this other stuff. So I'm like, all right, well, let's keep on using it because I like it.
Sprout Social.
A little bit. It's a step up from Hootsuite in a sense. A little more polished look to the interface. It also starts at $50 a month. You can get a free trial to start if you like it, then pay the $50 a month. But definitely good for the mid-level. I believe they have enterprise level plans as well. Another one which is kind of similar that makes LinkedIn sharing a little bit easier is actually Oktopost. So which I don't have up there on the board, but I forgot about that one. They are specifically designing their product to really work well with LinkedIn's APIs, so that way when you share it to a group or you share in an activity stream, it actually looks good. Because some of these apps just don't share very well into LinkedIn groups or company pages or your activity stream. So
reminds me of a Bond movie. They'll have to guess which one. Next one, SlideShare. Now that's interesting. That kind of fits in differently, but that's of course a product that LinkedIn is purchased. Mm-hmm. And plays very well with LinkedIn. Upload your PowerPoints to it. Yep. We just had someone in class talk about they've learned a lot of good information from it. Yep. Talk about SlideShare.
Well, the reason why we put it under distribution is because there's no real creativity tools that are part of SlideShare. So you basically can upload your PowerPoint, your Keynote, your PDFs or anything like that, and a video as well, and put it into SlideShare, and you're basically distributing that content again. And it makes it very embeddable into LinkedIn, extremely embeddable into LinkedIn because they acquired it. Also, LinkedIn has, or SlideShare has some lead gen tools that are associated with the premium account levels on SlideShare. So check those out too if you need to do your own lead gen.
It seems to be indexed well if you put good keywords in it, and that's another big one.
Yeah, any of the words in there that you put into your slide deck as well, it pulls it out and transcribes it for you too, which makes it very SEO friendly. So that way, if someone is searching for your content or searching for a solution that you have, put it in the slide deck, put it up there, and hopefully they'll find you on SlideShare.
And our last in distribution,
Wistia.
How do you pronounce that?
Wistia. They're out of Boston. No, that doesn't mean anything, but they're very creative folks up there in Boston. Yeah. So I love these guys. I think I got a marketing crush on them because they just put out some fantastic content. Wistia is a business video hosting solution. And you get incredible information. They take YouTube and just basically just put them in the dunk tank. And push the button and flush. So basically Wistia, you can create calls to action in your video. If someone wants to watch the video, maybe you want to grab their email address before they're actually watching the video. You want to know where they fall off in the video. So that some of it, they tell you 3 minutes on video. That's all you should do. You should do more than 3 minutes. Well, what if you have a good video that maybe people drop off after 4? So this actually gives you analytics to tell you how good your video is actually doing. There's a number of other great tools in there, responsive ready video as well for web pages and things like that. You can sign up and get a free account. And I believe monthly accounts cost starts at $25 a month, but definitely check that out.
And that completes the distribution of our short list here. You got some, put them out there, social on our hashtag linking sales 64. See if you can one-up us on something we missed.
Yeah, definitely. We would love to hear what you got.
Creation. This sounds biblical or something, but it's not, I'm sure.
In the beginning, there was creation.
Creation, the creating of content, getting that stream, getting them in. Many of you in professional sales will be getting that from your marketing, but some will be smaller and doing some of your own, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do we got there?
So let's start first with Movy. I like Movy a lot. I use Movy. I probably should use it a lot more than I actually do, but I do use it. Movy is kind of like maybe Twitter for video. It might be the best way to describe it, except you're really not limited on how much time that you can record a video. It's a video collaboration tool. So you can actually build a network of video followers with it. And then, but in addition, you can also create a video and email it to anybody in your contact book, which is pretty powerful. So do
they have to have Movy to even get it? Or?
No.
Yeah, that's an important thing.
So what basically happens if you email somebody a video, they get a link. That link takes them into Movy and that specific private page is set up. And they can watch the video right there. Now, if they have a Movy, if they receive the Movy notification and they have the Movy app, then they can also watch the movie right there on their phone. And it works very, very well. And the folks over there, Lori over at Movy, and Jacob, and everyone over there is just fantastic. Fantastic crowd of people. Very engaging. Very fun to watch their videos too.
Excellent. And then the classic Twitter.
Yeah. So
the doorway to the media.
Yeah. So
the conversation of professionals. How to follow professional wrestlers.
Yep.
Sorry.
Well, fine. Can you find Hulk Hogan on there?
I think they all are. My caregiver at my house for my mom loves watching him. I saw all the Twitters up there. I am not following them. Go ahead.
So Twitter, yes, you can take and create tweets and get engagement, put hashtags with it, but we also want to mention the fact that you should be sharing photos or pictures of some sort, as well as you can do video. You can do up to 30-second video. Matter of fact, right before we started recording this podcast, if you go to linking in the #2 sales on Twitter, you can find the video that we shot just before we recorded this. And we'd love to, go over there, hit the favorite button on it as well. Let us know. Let us know you saw it. Yep.
But also breaking news. Like right now, I'm kind of today. I'm following what's going on with Radio Shack, and that's where I'm going to find out. The breaking news. So,
I don't know if they.
That's not creation.
No, yeah. But they didn't break the news.
They didn't break the news with it. Yeah.
So
no one cared.
It wasn't even trending.
Only I. So creation of content on it. Get to the point. This can be other content you have. I do want to mention Bitly versus the Google, because there's some rumors that the Bitly. But I'm in on Twitter. Okay.
All right.
On Twitter for the shortener versus Google shortener.
Okay.
I heard that Twitter kind of likes either using their own or Google's more. Or is that? We'll see. Let us know if you know it.
It would make total sense now that Google has a tight parent relationship or a tight relationship with Twitter.
They're back in bed together. All right. So Snapseed.
Snapseed. You like this one.
Well, this is really for photos and capturing information that lets you modify it, improve it, crop it, everything. This is out of my class on photography for social media, but sometimes you want to capture something and modify it in your phone. Lots of people love this. Lots of people work with it. So if you don't have one that's a favorite, check it out. It's a product by Google. They seem to be backing well.
Yeah, so I believe it may only be available on Android, but I could be wrong. It might be on iOS as well, because it was an acquisition that Google had made a few years back. An idea on using any of these kind of photo apps is maybe you're out at a conference. Maybe you're working a trade show booth or something along those lines. These apps actually make it super easy for you to take and create very cool pictures. So I strongly suggest making sure you have some sort of picture editor on your phone, whether it's an iPhone or an Android, doesn't really matter. Just have one on there so you can create better pictures.
And play with it.
Have fun with it, yeah. So Prezi would be the next one. Prezi seems to be coming and going. I mean, I heard back in 2008, and then
it is a amazing thing. The best product. What it is a presentation system based on the idea that the entire wall's a presentation, and we're moving a camera in and out to show different content. That's the way I explain it. So it's a real different creative process, and apparently integrates video well for presentations. Just make sure you don't move so fast that people who have easy motion sickness are looking for the trash can.
Yes. So I think I've heard it described as a vector-based slide presentation. So you know how when you create some images and you enlarge them and they get distorted, but when some of them that actually
I just realized moving too fast and people getting sick.
Well, don't
anyway,
do that. Well, we make it vector and they won't throw up so much.
That's right. But the thing is I've seen some beautiful presentations on it, and it's cloud-based. You're working on it, and they keep adding features to it. So I don't want to discount this as a tool for creating content that you can display that has a real look and feel. And again, moves, you have to think of it. You have to get into the world of imagine your whole thing's on a wall and you're zooming in and out on stuff. That's at least what I think, which is very different from PowerPoint.
Yes, so. Very, very different. Very flat on.
MindMeister. That's I'm the culprit that brought this on. It's a German company that I use extensively. I love mind maps because for any of you that are more nonlinear thinkers, that would be me, and more creative thinkers where you're putting ideas together and then they're evolving them in front of you, MindMeister lets you do it. I often will give talks off of it because I can hyperlink from it on the cloud, and they give you 3 mind maps free of charge. This is one that not as many know, but it's pretty exciting. I do have to say, you know, when the NSA scare of hacking servers in America occurred, I was a little sad to see they had a sign on MindMeister that says, your content, none of our servers are in America. So it's kind of, that was a little disheartening that that was a marketing tool for them, you know, but great little product, and something to look at as another method where you can do presentations in it. So this is something many people may not have tried.
Right. And then this last one here you brought up was Autodesk Pixlr.
Pixlr has a lot of very good entry-level free things, a entry-level kind of Photoshop cloud-based version. I use it in the class on social media for photography for social media, and good app. So it's another good tool for modifying photos that seems to work hard to keep things up. So if you got more, let us know. And what would be a good hashtag to use for that?
Let's see. Linking sales 64.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So one up us on this.
Yes.
See if you got something else.
All right. So let's talk about engagement.
Yep.
We're going to get right into engagement. And actually the first 4 are real quick. We're going to run right through them because you should already know them, because if you got into Linking Sales 64, then you already know about Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Google+, because we just love those social networks.
Yep.
So we're going to tack on a couple others for engagement. We have very specific episodes for Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Google+. Definitely go back and check those out to understand a little bit more about driving engagement for those. As those networks kind of develop too, we're going to be discovering the new ways and better ways to engage on those networks too. LinkedIn has got some, they've made some significant changes, and Twitter's rolling out some great stuff. So we have a bunch of work to do there. Let's talk about a couple other tools as well, which can be very helpful for when engaging directly with a prospect. One is Speedshare, and we're going to actually have them on later on in April to talk with the CEO about the sharing and collaboration economy of how salespeople are actually collaborating with customers and over the web, basically. So what Speedshare is, you go out and actually create an account for free right now. It actually allows you and another person remotely to share a web session together. So you want to search Google together, you can do that. You want to go through housing listings, you can do that. You want to go through a financial plan together, you can do that. So it's a very, very cool, very nice tool. You want to get, you did this recent article on social media for CPAs. So CPAs can actually use this tool to work with clients directly, within their own web interface. So it's a great tool. Another one I'm going to throw up there is going to be JoinMe. Definitely, yeah. We use JoinMe to collaborate all the time. Also to kind of reduce our attention deficit disorder that we have.
That's right.
So
whoever's the most ADD in our meetings, they have to be displayed on the screen so that we can find out if they're off checking email or something.
And
So
I have
just
a bad
well, you
habit
won
checking
the
email.
last 2
Yes,
times. So.
Yeah, you're going to lose next time, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
But JoinMe is very nice for sharing screens and working with people. Good, solid. They keep upgrading it. Low overhead to install.
Yeah.
Low overhead to cost, especially if you're a sales professional paying out of pocket.
Yep.
And what was interesting is I called support of Google, and they used JoinMe to be able to access. I was kind of surprised. That was their drug of choice then. So check that one out. If you got more on engagements, let us know. And let's move on to the next one.
So analytics, and we're going to touch really lightly on this one, but because salespeople usually don't like to measure how their social is doing, but we strongly suggest that you do. So basically, we talk back on distribution, that you need to take and measure the effectiveness of your content that you're sharing out there so that we know what not to share. So we want to actually strongly suggest you start looking at some of these analytic tools. One is going to be Twitter Analytics, which you could find by going into Twitter advertising in your account.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. I don't think enough people have gone in to actually take a look at this, but you should really go in and go into Twitter advertising and then go over to Twitter Analytics, and you get to see what has been your most engaging tweets. How many impressions has that tweet had? How many clicks did it get? How many favorites did it get? What was your engagement rate?
How much love it experienced?
Do you get enough love?
That's it. No, it's really impressive.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Very, very much. Yeah, it's free to check out. Everyone has it. So
Good old Google Analytics.
Google Analytics is very, very good for measuring the impact of the website. But the reason why we put it in here, because most salespeople don't really have control over the website, is because you should probably look at using some sort of campaign tracking things to add on to the URLs. Basically, it's I think the UTM
Pixel tracking.
Well, no, not the pixel tracking. This is actually, when you go to like www.com/ this is the page, and it follows by a question mark, and it has a whole bunch of characters after that. Well, that gives you the campaign information that actually feeds directly back into Google Analytics. Marketing loves this stuff. I know, I'm a marketer. So what we would recommend is that there's actually this fun little plugin that you can get for Chrome that actually helps you build those UTM codes. So that way you can share this stuff out.
Are you going to share that?
I'll put it in the links in the show notes. You can get it there.
Good.
All right.
Bitly.
Bitly.
Bitly's been around a long time. Sign up, see how many times they open. There was some concern where Google mentioned maybe we won't play well with them or we don't trust them, but I still like it. I still use it. It's a great little tool. It takes a very long URL, makes it short. Then if you put it in, when people click on it, you'll know it advanced. You can watch it. People don't know if you see a Bitly link, /?, and you can see how many times that person's Bitly was viewed. So that's another one. And then the complement of that on Google is GOO period, what is it? GL. Is it GOO period?
Okay. Oh, maybe I got it wrong. Okay. Well, but Google has a shortener as well.
Period LE.
Yep. So
we'll get it in the notes.
I thought it was Goo.gl. So, but I'll put it in the show notes. You can definitely check it out. You can also measure the impact, kind of similar to how Bitly does. Just
you can't customize it.
You can't customize it.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but Bitly you can.
In Bitly you can. So if you have something on it, let us know. But they're pretty cool. And then of course Hootsuite has
so this is where the overlap when we're talking about distribution. Hootsuite does have Owly basically, which is built into Hootsuite, which will, when you take and share content out of Hootsuite, it does shorten it for you, and it will track and measure those shares that you put out there. So anyways, the good stuff on analytics. I'll put those into the show notes, and if you have anything additional that you want to add to analytics that you're using, make sure you tweet us and put hashtag
what was it?
Linking Sales 64.
Yep.
Yes, 64.
And the final set.
Intel.
That was my drum roll.
Okay. Hopefully it didn't disturb the mic too much.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
All right. So you need Intel. The most important thing that in sales you could possibly have other than content is Intel. You need to know who that person is, where they're from, what their name of their firstborn is, the social security. Nah, you don't need quite that much information.
Polite stalking.
But in social, if you want to politely stalk, as my fine esteemed associate next to me says, then there's a number of tools out there that are available for that. One place you should probably keep all of this intel
is on your own platform.
Yeah.
like a social CRM that you pay for, so that it goes with you. What for those who know the term, your golden Rolodex. For those that don't know, it's a thing with cards in it that flipped around.
Yeah.
So, Nimble's one of them.
Yes, Nimble.
And we're fans of the Nimble gang there. We did an interview with the founder. We'll do more with it, but integrate it, get the additions onto your Chrome browser, so it will look things up and you can add people in. It will pull everything it can from LinkedIn but not 100%, and that's really because LinkedIn decided we won't play well with everybody.
Yep.
So that's a LinkedIn decision. We hope they come to their senses and start working with the more affordable platforms. LinkedIn, please listen.
Yeah, Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos, we need you to get going.
Yeah,
so that's one, Nimble, and it gives you like 14-day trial. So
yeah, you got 14-day trial, $15 a month. Really great solution. Go to nimble.com to check that out.
Works well with Google Apps if you run your business off of that, which I do. So you can send out, bring in the calendar and everything else. So enough on that.
Yeah, so we have the last 4 that we have here under Intel is also offers Google Chrome plugins. By the way, the platform for sales is Google Chrome. Okay, whether you're on PC or if you're on
that's pretty much what we
Apple.
said.
Yeah, I mean, for any social seller, you are on Chrome.
Yes.
Okay, so the next one, let's say you're you're tweeting somebody out, or you're on Twitter and you're looking for folks or something like that, and I would definitely suggest looking at installing Riffle, Riffle. I'll have a link in the show notes in case I butcher that. But basically, it has this nice little pop-out window that when you hover over somebody's Twitter handle,
that's cool.
It actually gives you their Klout information if they're on Instagram, Google+, LinkedIn. There are other social networks that they're on.
Cool.
Very cool, very free application to use. So this is why B2B needs to be using Twitter more for prospecting.
Yep.
Okay.
The next one,
Discoverly. Discoverly actually puts a plugin into it kind of works like Reportive, which is the nice little Google Gmail plugin that sort of still works, but it's slowly being killed off. But Discoverly actually will help you try and find someone's email address, and also will get you some additional information inside LinkedIn too. So that's really fun. I definitely would recommend checking that one out. A nice tweet from the folks over there at Discoverly today. Also, SellHack. SellHack is another tool I've been using. Martin hasn't quite played around with this yet, but I'm going to show him what this one does. But let's say you are looking for somebody's email address. SellHack is very helpful for finding that information. Yes, it is.
Interesting.
And then, of course, you can create lead lists and things like that out of there. And then our last one here that I'm going to talk about for Intel is SalesLoft. SalesLoft is really good for taking folks on LinkedIn, creating lists from their application, and exporting them into CSV files
that
or
is
Excel
a
files.
really full paid service, but that's a serious hunting for people.
That is.
I've recommended it to a B2B sales, and they were just tearing it up with it.
And I have used it as well.
You get what you pay for.
Yep. So
Good
one of the
service.
tool I think we might want to throw in here is that, let's say you're in high technology sales and you need to know what kind of technology that the website is running on, or if they have anything on the back end, and check using Built With.
Built with.
Built With.
Yeah, you're going to get that down there.
So Built With is a nice little tool for you to, let's say maybe you sell plugins for WordPress or something along those lines, or maybe you work for a web development shop and you see that they're using Drupal or Joomla or something along those lines. Or if you wanted to see if they have a Salesforce form and you sell to Salesforce customers, then this is a great way. There's a bunch of different scenarios. We can run through them all day long. Built With looks at the website technology that's being used and gives you intel, so that way when you make a call.
There are people that want to go home, so we're going to have to wrap
Okay,
it up.
all right, no problem.
Someone knocking at the door here, so we better get out of here. I'm going to throw one that has nothing to do with sales in. It's actually nextdoor.com for communities in your neighborhood. So that's your little free tip. I went around and put about 250 flyers out in my community, and now power goes out, lost dog, something like that. It's really cool. So I want to give a shout out to them. Has nothing to do with sales, but can make I'm big on people's homes and families being safe and looking out. I believe nosy neighbors are safer than neighbors. So that wraps it up. And if they've got something to add on, what would the hashtag be?
Linking Sales 64.
Oh, that'd be great. So show us up. Show us something we missed that might, and put it in there. We'll look for it. These will be on there. This concludes the show. I'm Martin Brossman.
And I'm Greg Hyer, and you've been watching or listening to Linking into Sales, the social selling podcast and training organization.